Hey, welcome everybody. We are live here on this December morning.
Yeah.
Um,
Are we actually live? Did we turn on?
we're,
I missed it. I
we're
was like,
bumped. We're
hey,
bumped. We're out.
wake
It
up
is
the
12. It
activate the
is
route.
12:16 at 2 o'clock, so it's
I
not
should
really
be on
morning.
fire.
Yes, but
Hey,
yeah. So we talked a long time ago about Ralph's money and about NFTs and showed you how to make NFTs and things like that. But
yes.
the we've not talked about Ralph's money in a while because, well, the
Well,
bottom
yeah.
fell out of the crypto market. Um,
And then it's still. And
it's
here's the interesting thing. After they
still
said the
low.
bottom ripped out worse, it
Hmm.
seems to have the same value as it's been since before the quote unquote new bottom ripped out. So I'm going to say that I was not exposed to the whatever really
The
bad thing
second
happened.
risk, yeah.
All right. That's for the
So
folks worried about my money. Yep, that's what happened.
it's not no, and it's all funny money anyway, right? I mean, but the
Who's
thing is,
laughing?
yeah, the
I
the
am.
thing is, a lot of people did lose a lot of money with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin dropped by half, and Ethereum is
Yes.
is down by at least half from when it was at its highs. Now, Ethereum changed from proof of work to proof of stake, which means that you no longer mine them using your video card. A lot of
Mhm.
things like that have been going on, but kind of as a side of that, one of the things that I saw, I think it was, I forget who it was, somebody's board ape that they bought for 1.2 million was
Yes.
now had a value of $60,000
Oh dear.
or something like
Yikes.
that. So the bottom dropped out of the NFT market as well, which we weren't shilling them, but it seems that if you look at our screen here, it seems that the people that were shilling them, that were um, celebrities that were advertising for these NFTs and saying what a great thing they were, are getting sued.
So, I mean, this is like talking about investment. Hey, it's great. Like, remember who was that guy? Plastics, man, plastics. I don't think he was sued when the plastics market dropped out. That's what I'm just saying. Or maybe he
Right.
was.
Well, it's one of those things where this is kind of new territory, right? Were they being paid to do it? Were they getting money?
Right.
Were they was it a pyramid scheme? I mean, there's a lot here. And this is specifically about the around the Apes Yacht Club.
Okay.
Um,
Board apes.
yeah.
Okay. It's like there's just so much to unpack there, but I'm going to let that one go for a moment.
I know. So the latest lawsuit to target celebrities for their promotion of digital financial products. See, that's what they're saying. These are not these NFTs. They are digital financial products, and financial products are under FTC,
Oh,
the
oh,
Federal Trade
FTC, not
Commission,
FTC, not FEC.
not FEC. Right.
See, big difference in the compliance rules
So
there.
that and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is investigating the labs over whether the sales of its digital assets violated federal law and whether certain non-fungible tokens are more akin to stocks and should follow the same disclosure rules. So if you have if you have a stock in a company,
Mhm.
if you are an investor in a company and you're promoting that company, you have to disclose it, and that's kind of what they're saying right here. So the SEC, the FTC, there are a lot of people, a lot of TLAs, right?
Yes.
Three letter acronyms.
All the C's.
There are a lot of TLAs working on these NFCs, um, NFTs rather,
Yeah, that's right.
um, and it's not just rug pulls, right? We talked about rug pulls earlier,
Yes, we did.
and there were at least a couple of places where someone hyped up an NFT, and there was one in particular where they were going to be writing a game, and they got over $1 million worth of investment by people
Mm-hmm.
buying these NFTs, and then they took the money and ran.
Oh,
Um, that kind of rug pull is not what we're talking about here. The Bored Apes were not rug pulled, but they were being advertised by people who had a financial investment, who had an interest beyond just being paid to advertise.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so the shill goes on.
Oh, oh dear. Yeah,
Yeah.
so trying to explain trying to explain a lot of people folks that are asking me about the FTX thing.
Oh,
Is that like
FTX.
Bitcoin went down because of FTX? No, well, it's not
Mm,
quite so simple. I mean, how do we explain to, let's say, the layperson
so
what
so
FT
if
what the effect of FTX, uh that what happened to them
Yeah, I
is on
mean,
the
if
Bitcoin market.
FTX or Binance, if you look at all of this, there's a lot going on here. They are a cryptocurrency company. Uh, they were a large investor. They controlled a lot of assets,
Mm-hmm.
um, and as such, it would be similar to saying, well, you know, um, when let me see, when here we go,
Okay.
when Volkswagen got in trouble about the emissions. Remember, Volkswagen was fixing cars so that when
Yes.
they detected that they were on a test bench,
Oh,
they
yeah,
would
I remember that.
they would change the timing so that they could pass emissions. And then once they detected they were no longer on it, they would change the timing back so the emissions were bad, but the performance was better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they were gaming the system, and they got into a lot of trouble about that. And we did not say that the auto industry was doomed.
That's true.
Okay, so FTX, this company, is in the crypto market. They were a big player. They were very visible, and this is beyond just a little bit of an emissions issue with them. They are going bankrupt. There is fraud. There people have lost money allegedly. All of these things.
Physical
There,
money,
there's
actually, in this
nothing.
case.
There's nothing alleged about them losing money.
Yep.
Okay, they took a lot of people's money. There's talk about it being a Ponzi scheme. There's a lot of bad things going on, but that doesn't mean that the whole crypto market's dead.
Right.
Okay, they didn't cause it. It exacerbated their fall. They were going to fall anyway, but they were propping themselves up by this increasing value,
Yes.
by the bitcoins, continuing to rise. That
Mm-hmm.
helped them go longer than they would have otherwise, but they were just a
Yeah.
failed business.
Right. So I mean, let's to remind everyone, the whole concept of Bitcoin and that kind of currency is it's a not so much democratized, but an anonymized and democratized way of dealing with, as opposed to a government or a particular entity having
Yes,
full control over it. And the idea
decentralized.
was,
No
yeah,
one,
decentralized.
no
Exactly.
single company going down is going to take anyone down.
Well, or
Now,
should. Now, if the value goes down, that's the perception of the people looking at around it. If like
yes,
it's like, well, I have something that has nothing to do with what's going on over there, but that scared me so much, I devalue what I have, and I simply say it. I'm not, and nothing stopping me from saying it, but it's not a direct consequence. That thing didn't go
right.
over and push it. That thing
There's
hit my brain
no causal link.
cortex and made me do it. Exactly.
Yeah, there's no causal link between the two, but that doesn't mean that there can't be an influence, and there is influence
Yes.
because, as you say, it's all in the news, and people are like,
Humans still, humans are still in the
humans are human.
equation. That's what we're saying.
Yes,
The humans are still in the equation. How people
for
feel
sure.
sentiment. The AI can mimic that, and the AI can like do it 20 million times faster, perhaps. But
Yes,
all it's doing is just what I said, mimicking because it was maybe taught at best taught. So you tell an
yes,
AI, you ever seen like when we talk about sentiment analysis, and that is a thing in the AI concept, right? Where
yes,
like just by what person's typing, it's going to say that person's happy or sad. Well, is it really detecting emotions? Has it surpassed Mr. Data and figured out how to do that, right? No, it hasn't. All it is like the models that it used came upon that said this kind of stuff equals, or at least is close to this.
right.
So
It's
the
correlated.
model will say, follow this path,
Yes,
right?
it
Remember
can
that, just the model.
it can
You can
find and
change the
track
model. You can say,
correlation.
throw that
That's
out,
it.
start over.
Yeah. So, we can talk about AIs. The recently, I mean, just this last week, someone put out a children's book that they created just using AI.
Can
So
you
all of
find
the
that?
words were written by an AI, and all of the images
You got the
were
Google up. You
drawn.
can, or the Bing up. You can call it up.
Yep.
Which one we're using today? I'm going to say that Skynet's going to use Bing and not Google when in the future. Just saying.
Here. There we go. News
There
about
we
AI
go.
children's book. He used AI to publish a
And
children's book
artists are
for
not
women.
happy about it.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, the
So
chatbot on OpenAI. In fact, that Chat GPT was on NPR today. They were talking about it on
yep.
NPR. A fellow from Wharton was talking about like that kids are using this chat GPT system to potentially write their essays for them and everything else. And when you listen to it, it sounds like something someone's written, but you can almost feel how do I say it? The either a very poor plagiarizer, or it's not the non-human piece to it. I
Right.
feel it.
And so
Unfortunately, yeah. Go ahead.
that's what he did with this. So he has
Oh,
the
nice.
illustrations drawn, and he also has the words written. So
Oh man.
completely AI generated, for sale on Amazon.
Oh man. This is Chat GPT.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Isn't it?
So, I saw on Twitter that image of the girl and everything, and so without knowing the context, this what I saw was this guy was critiquing every single little bit of this image, like what's with that floating leaf? Why is her pen going into her dress? Stuff like that.
Oh
Like, oh,
man.
is that a green thing on the side a vape pen and all that kind of stuff? And people were just
Yeah.
roasting this guy. Um, but yeah,
Hold
that
on.
is definitely a conversation on Twitter. That image is.
And it's not perfect. I mean, and I think the point is that's okay. right? The dress, obviously, yeah, there are a lot of flaws in the image, but it's
You think the flaws were probably put in on purpose? Like it said, "Hey, I got to look realistic, so I'm going to insert a flaw." For example, the
or
fingers.
they're
I'm looking at the fingers.
stylistic. I mean, the way that the image processors work is they actually pull from different base images, and that's
Right.
one of the reasons that artists are upset, right? Because these have to be trained, and they then mimic what they're trained on.
Mm-hmm.
And there are several instances where um, the images that they're trained on are not owned by the people that are doing the training. So
Wow.
one of the talking points that I saw was, if you train an AI on stolen images and then it produces something that looks like those stolen images, it's still not new art, it's stolen.
Right. And on top of that, another common thing that a lot of artists have been saying is that they don't know how to make hands. The AI does not comprehend hands at all. The structure,
So I'm right
nothing
about the
about
hands
it.
thing.
But yeah, no,
Mhm.
this is a very, very hot topic also on Twitter right now and just across the board. People do not like
Very.
their art being taken and then like, years of just trying to hone this specific art style and then it just takes it and it's like bam, done. What do you know?
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Check this out. And it's like I got like the moon landing done as done by Van Gogh
Yeah.
himself. Check it
Van
out.
Gogh. It's
There we
wonderful.
go.
I mean, and it's I've seen demos where you can fill in between different pictures of an artist and create a larger scene. They extend the um, the the image beyond the borders. There are a lot of interesting things about it, but it you have to understand that there are limits, and the especially the fact that a lot of these are not trained on free and open work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing with the um, not low code, right? But the automatic code generation
Yes.
that's being done by
Oh, so in fact,
Copilot.
that program they were talking about just earlier, ChatGPT, is apparently used for coding as well, for generating code or for at least giving like a choices of code, which they can go take in chunks and
Hmm.
start redoing. I think that's where it came from originally. It was like the code. What was that? The one with in GitHub now, the assist
Copilot.
Copilot.
Hmm. And so part of the problem with that is that it was trained on products that are in GitHub, and not all of them are open source. And so
Right.
there are some people that are claiming that there are pieces of code that were used that um, should not have
Oh.
been because of licensing. So
Uh-oh.
yeah,
When you have a chance to peek at something, you can't unsee it, so to speak.
exactly. Well,
Literally,
and
the AI
how do you
can't unsee it because you didn't
you
know you
can't
saw it.
untrain it? Yeah, you
That's
you
right.
cannot remove the training. You cannot remove individual pieces of data from that training. You would have to
So
retrain it.
this is interesting. You've now explained why they had to memory wipe droids and stuff. By the way, because of that that reason, it's like, well,
Yeah,
we can't go and pluck out the specific memories, and we're just here you go. Sorry, C-3PO, you're not going to
yeah,
remember none of this.
there we go. So anyway, lots of good topics, lots of fun stuff. Is there I'm unfortunately double booked and need to get
Yeah, that's all right.
running
We have a
soon.
short one over here. We're probably going to have one more. Well, let's see. Is next week still a week? Yeah, next week's still good. It's not yet Christmas. Um, we might have one or two. We should have. You know what I want to do next one, or next one or the one after. Let's open up our YouTube and look at all the stuff that we did this year because I think we did tons. And
Retrospective.
just look at it, retrospective, and look at what the heck did we really talk about that? Did we really cover that? And maybe that's a little bit of homework to see if there's anything that was like embarrassing to look at, and we'll absolutely highlight those and
Absolutely.
bring those back.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's my suggestion. That's the what's called the retro year, and go
Hmm.
look at and wonder if we insert that to an AI, would it create a show for ourselves based on all that
Oh
stuff?
yeah, we need to
That
do
would be
transcripts.
an interesting thing to ponder, you know.
All right.
So
So that
yes,
would be the 23rd. Are we
that would
cool
be the
with the
23rd.
23rd? All right.
Yes. Okay. So the 23rd, that is Christmassy. So after that, though, is the 30th, I think. That's the
Right.
New Year's.
After that is the 30th, and that's the New Year. So I mean, this week it's tough. I'm
Which is
fine.
easier
We're
for
not
you?
going anywhere.
The Friday? We're not going anywhere either, but we're not going. I don't know. The 30th, we might. I don't know. First, the 23rd, then. Let's plan for the 23rd.
Let's plan on the 23rd then.
All right. Raquel, the 23rd, unless you're traveling because of your work and all your awards at your ceremonies you're going to. We're waiting for Raquel to give us the blessing.
I will be traveling that day, but I think later in the day, right?
Later in the day?
The 23rd.
Are you traveling in the morning or traveling in the afternoon? Because then we'll pick the 30th.
Oh, well, we'll be traveling the 22nd instead, so we'll be in one place for the 23rd. So possibly
You'll be sat down. Hey,
I will email
when you're on the
you
internet,
the
you can work from
details.
anywhere. So just saying.
Yeah, I'll email you the details.
There we go. Okay, we're not going to hit you on the logistics.
No promises.
We want to make sure that you're not on the road streaming while you're driving. That maybe
Streaming
that's
while
still
driving.
not yet allowed.
That's
Yeah.
not. We're not there yet.
I don't think I'm
No.
there yet either. I think I need a, though I don't really drive, so I'm always in the passenger seat, but I don't think I can install a, good router and everything.
Well, at least not yet. That's coming.
Not yet.
That's
Yeah.
coming,
Right.
Bill. Sure enough. All right.
Well,
Lawrence?
I'm actually running on a T-Mobile 5G. I changed and I'm no longer using cable modem.
So
I'm completely wireless.
tell me how that goes,
Wow.
because that is my next adventure. As soon as I can figure out for a couple of cable channels, if I can find their streaming alternatives. Goodbye cable. Same thing going on over here.
Yeah.
Let me know how it goes. All right.
It seems to be going great. Talk to y'all later.
Alrighty.
Have a good
Night
weekend.
Cafe. Okay, Raquel, we'll talk to you soon. Hey,
Bye.
happy holidays in case we don't catch anyone. We'll see ya. And